Alright, it is day 37 of no fap for me. Now this past week has been marked by my return to binge eating, unfortunately, because I've been so fixated on not fapping. I've had a number of fap cravings and I try to satisfy them with eating, and I made a huge mess of myself. I'm not eating a huge volume of food, but the problem is that when I get to my favorite foods, I make a mess because I just can't wait, and I have a lot of anxiety. Now, early on in this no-fap journey, I had another problem. We had half an hour break at work, and I was trying to go to Five Guys to get my favorite lunch. I had promised myself if I made it, I think it was 10 days that time, I would treat myself to Five Guys. And so I went during the half-hour break. And from my office to the Five Guys was a 7-minute drive, and by the time I got my food, there wasn't a whole lot of time to eat, and I was shoving it down, and I got very upset at myself. And I got very angry because I thought to myself how nice it would be to have Five Guys during that break at work, but there's only half an hour, and I just got very angry. And after a week or two of that anger at work, I'm like, this is not going to work out. Why don't I talk to my boss and explain to him that, having a good break where the kids are not shoving their food down would be a good idea anyhow. And I talked to my boss, and I started by saying that, this is a lot of students. I know there's a lot of pent-up demand for SAT prep, and the kids are definitely not exactly comfortable eating lunch here because we have another instructor who is very picky about COVID restrictions. He has high risk factors. And so he made everybody go outside. It was 100 degrees. My boss explained that the schedules had already been fixed in advance. The parents won't have a ride. The kids won't have a ride from their parents if they change it now, but he'll definitely consider it. And I had talked about, thanks for considering that because I want to make sure my colleague is safe. So I went to Five Guys the other day, and this is what happened. And my boss, he said something really beautiful. He said, well, why don't you let me know? Next time maybe I can pick up the Five Guys for you. And it gave me a nice warm fuzzy feeling because I had never had a boss who was on the same page as me. I had a very toxic workplace that I had just come from. Long story short, I didn't ask him to pick up the Five. I thought that was kind of overset. No, that's okay. We only got 3 weeks left of this quarter anyhow. Thanks for considering the feedback. And that was that. This is what not fapping does to me. It allows me to open up a lot, right? Because I think to myself, I'm already going through a lot with no fap. What's another anxiety-inducing conflict with my boss, right? Trying to resolve some conflict. What's another round of that, right? I'm already going through a lot of anxiety at the moment. Anyway, today, I now make it a challenge to myself when I go to a restaurant or when I prepare my favorite meal at home and it's all done, to give myself 2 minutes and to practice delayed gratification, right? Now, I had a student in chemistry who has pretty much memorized the entire periodic table, and I want to be just like him. So lately I've been reciting the periodic table. I got to run in a second, but hopefully later today I'll record myself singing the periodic table song. There's hydrogen and helium and lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon everywhere, nitrogen all through the air, and oxygen so you can breathe, and fluorine for your pretty teeth, neon to light up the sign, sodium for salty types, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus. Okay, maybe later tonight I'll recite. But I pretty much had I have most of the table memorized up to at least the lanthanoids now. All right. Day 37.